13 harsh truths about life I know at 30 that I wish I knew sooner. Number 1, no one is coming to save you. You are the hero of your life. We've been fed the fairy tale that you can be a damsel in distress and men and God will come in to solve all your problems. But that is not the reality of my life. I have the support of friends and family and the divine. However, I still have to be the one who goes out and fights my own battles. And if you're still waiting for someone to come in and fix your life, you're doing a disservice to yourself because you're just procrastinating the work that has to get done in order for you to become the best version of yourself. I know I have struggled over the years to feel confident in my self-worth and my ability to do what's required to build my dream life. But as you kind of pick away at smaller things and tackle smaller goals, it makes it feel easier to complete the bigger goals in your life. No hero can slay big dragons at the beginning of their story. They have to go through a training montage in order to get the skills required to make big change in the world. You're no different. You also have to put yourself through a training program where you feel like you're failing, where you're trying really hard to complete your goals, because you have to expand your capacity and your skill set in order to get them. Remember, you only fail if you actually quit. So if you keep trying at it, you will consistently get better, and eventually your manifestations will come when you become the version of yourself who's capable of bringing them into reality. Hi everyone, my name is Emily. I'm an engineer and a certified psychology coach. On this channel, I give you the tools to design, build, and manifest your dream life. Our next harsh truth is that he doesn't love you and he probably never did. If you ever find yourself questioning what a man feels about you, he's not interested. Men who really want you will be obsessed with you, and it is borderline annoying getting them off your plate to get some breathing room. He will be actively pursuing you and actively interested in spending more time with you if he wants to build a future with you. Don't waste your life force energy trying to convince a man that you're deserving of his love. There are so many people you can date. You do not need to hyperfixate on one man who's making it clear that he has other priorities apart from you. The most damaging thing that I've ever done for my own self-worth is chasing opportunities and chasing men. As I've gotten older, I've become more secure in my self-worth and realizing that the right opportunities will come to me easily, and the men who are a good fit for my life will want to be in my life without me trying to convince them. So if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be to attract opportunities and men into your life. Don't go out hunting for them. You get the love and the life that you accept into reality. If you feel like you're being mistreated at work, unhappy with where you live, you feel unhappy with the relationship you're in, you have let that into your life. You have to take personal responsibility for being unhappy with your situation because you're the one who is choosing to live in it. You have to shift your mindset to be in a place of empowerment if you want to actively cultivate the life of your dreams. And this is probably the hardest thing I've had to solve in myself, because even though I'm much more empowered now than I was 10 years ago, I still feel the little seeds of victim mindset in myself, just wanting things to change and complaining about the present moment. Instead of complaining constantly about the things you're unhappy with, change your mentality to reframe those as desires for yourself and for the universe. Start making your vision board so that you know all the things that you want and you can walk closer towards them. Start regularly praying and being grateful for the things that you already have. Take time to be grateful for what's already in your universe so that you can change your mentality and accept better manifestations when they come. I was not always a spiritual person, but I'd say over the last 5 years, I've really connected and built my relationship with God. And guys, the biggest unlock if you want to live your dream life is make prayer a regular part of your daily practice. I swear that the moment I start trusting in God, regularly praying about my desires and asking for help is when those things manifest. I can be one day complaining about a job and I can pray about it, asking for guidance and asking for support, and the next day get a new job. It is voodoo magic. I truly believe in the supernatural powers of our world, but you have to trust that they are working to your benefit. You have to take responsibility for accepting things in your life that are subpar. Raise your standard and only start accepting things into your life that you truly want. If your intuition feels in your gut like, this is not quite right, I don't really want this, don't allow it into your life. Grow some boundaries and set some standards and stop being a victim in a life you've created for yourself. The next harsh truth I have for you guys is that your old friends are holding you back. I am a very different person and I have grown a lot in the last decade. The friends who were really close to me 10 years ago cannot relate to me as well now because I've just grown and changed a lot for the better over time. And in order to continuously grow and become a better version of myself, I have to make friends that are going in the same direction that I want to go. If you're still friends with people who are living in the same town that they grew up in, who are not getting a new job, who are living in victim mentality, who are always struggling with finances, who are complaining about everything in life, you will adopt some of the negative traits that these friends have. You are the sum of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. That could be partially in person with real friends, but partially with the content you consume. So you have to consume energy that helps you to become a new version of yourself. So make better friends and start listening to better content. Because if anything in a social circle is holding you back and discouraging you from keeping your dreams, it is something that you instantly have to cut out from your life. Our next harsh truth is that, yes, your boss hates you. Your boss and you are not in a familiar relationship. You are there to make the company money, and your boss is there to make his bosses happy. Don't get it twisted. Don't pretend like you're at your job just out of nepotism. I mean, unless it's like your parents' company, then it's nepotism. But you were there for a goal, and if you're not serving your boss's goals and making his life easier, you're becoming a problem in his life. You may have gotten a participation trophy when you were at school, but the consumer market does not reward you for just existing. It rewards you for creating value. You need to create value and you need to make your boss's life easier if you want them to actually like you. And if you're trying to get a promotion, this is a great tip. Look for ways where you can make your boss's life easier and create more value for the company. But if you're not doing those things, you're a problem child at work. The next harsh life advice I have for you guys is that there are tons of people far smarter, more successful, and more beautiful than you are. This is easy to see if you're on social media all the time and you're constantly doing the comparison of people who are 10 miles ahead of you on their personal development journey and who already have the wealthy, abundant life you want. But it is no use to you comparing yourself to strangers on the internet or even people in your real life who you think are doing better than you are. You have no idea what's happening behind closed doors. And if you want to be more confident and if you want to feel more empowered, you have to compare yourself to who you were yesterday. You have to continuously get better and move your life forward, not, again, feel like a victim and having all these limiting beliefs that nothing works out for you because you saw some teenager with a Lamborghini on Instagram. And I know for women there is additional pressure now because of AI to look perfect, because we don't see just highly curated humans. We see the image of absolutely perfect women who are created by computers. It is not your job to compete with that, and you're just hurting yourself trying. This world craves more authenticity. So if you want to actually stand out, learn how to get better on your own merit, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, and bring authenticity and connection. People are desperate for this. They are not desperate for the perfect model on Instagram with no side story. The next harsh truth I have for you guys is that complaining will keep you miserable. Anytime you're complaining, you're still in your victim mentality. You're saying, I am unhappy with the life I have accepted and I see no way out of it. If you're telling yourself that there's no way out and continuously verbally complaining, it just enforces the reality that you already have. Your words are like spells that you speak to yourself to create your internal world and to build the external world. You have to tell yourself more uplifting things. The act of complaining is so negative and has such a victim mentality behind it that it will keep you from being the better version of yourself. It will actively hold you back. Instead of complaining, stand up and step over to the desire counter again and start from an empowered, excited point of view, thinking about all the things, hopes and dreams that you want to have in your life. And that mentality helps you stay more open. And also, no one cares about the things you're complaining about. You're complaining to other people because you want to feel validated, but people are mostly annoyed by this. They're not excited to hear you complain about how horrible your life is. So don't push away your friends by complaining about everything in your life. And your complaining can be perceived like you're entitled or you think you're a special snowflake. So none of that. The next harsh truth I have for you guys is that you cannot escape your problems. Wherever you go, your mind, your problems, and your emotions will be with you there. I have even gone so far as to run away to the other side of the world to see my uncle in Brazil. And instead of feeling uplifted and happy in front of a beautiful waterfall. I was absolutely miserable because despite how far I went, I still had all the problems in my mind that I was dealing with when I was back home. And I ended up blowing a lot of money in the process. Especially in America, there's a tendency to try to solve our problems with money. But some of the bigger problems I've dealt with, like depression, self-worth, anxiety, low confidence, learning how to advocate for myself, are things that I just have to grow in my own character and money won't solve. You can go on vacation for a little while, but you will come back to your old life and you won't even necessarily be happy on that trip if you're still marinating on all the negative emotions. If you want to actively change your life, you have to confront your problems head on. And you have to be willing to step up, pick up your sword, and be the hero in your story instead of, again, acting like a victim. This whole video could be titled, How to Stop Being a Sad Victim Snowflake. The next harsh truth I have for you guys is that the problems in your life are really not that important. You are so lucky and abundant if you're watching this video. I would 100% believe that 90% of the problems you think you have are not actually that serious. I've journaled for 15 years now. I don't know. I have a giant stack of them at my house. And the one thing that I've learned after going through this journal is that the things that felt really emotionally painful in the moment have not made a meaningful difference on the longer scale of my life. And it's harder to step back and kind of see the big picture of things when you're really caught up in a small problem. But if you can start to kind of let go of a lot of your problems, you will make your life 10 times easier. I have 2 suggestions if you want to let go more of your problems in life. One is that you have to recognize what's in your control versus not in your control. For the most part, most of the things you're complaining about are not things that you can actually solve. The stock market going down, that man not texting you back, or you being upset about the rain are not problems you can actually solve. Let go of complaining about them and let go of trying to frantically solve them because it's a waste of your life force energy. Instead, focus on the problems you can actually solve, which primarily all boil down to things that are your actions. You can change your mentality, you can change your thoughts, and you can change the actions you have every day. If you're unhappy with your weight, you can go on a diet. If you're unhappy with your financial life, you can create a budget. If you're unhappy with your love life, you can start going on dates. Focus on the actions behind the goals and the things that you have control over if you want to feel empowered and if you want to move forward in life. I have caused myself so much pain stressing over things that I cannot control, and it just makes me feel desperate and overworks my anxiety to the nth degree. Focus on what's in your control and only solve problems that you actually want to solve. A lot of things that come up in my life, I actively ask myself, is this a problem or is it a minor annoyance? Most things are just minor annoyances. Things like death is a serious problem. Things like minor annoyances, like your car not working, like the groceries not being delivered on time, are just slight barriers that keep you from living your glorious life. So emotionally downgrade the majority of your problems to minor life annoyances and only solve the ones that you want to solve and that you have the power to do so. And your stress and anxiety will go way down. A side note for that, don't allow your mind to create problems where there are none. Most of the things that I've gotten really worked up about in the scheme of my dating life or my work are not real problems. I'm just stressing myself more thinking that they may be a problem. So I wish I could tell my younger self to stop making everything so difficult and allow things to play out and trying to problem solve things that aren't actually a problem to begin with. The next harsh life truth that I have is that you are dying day by day. You will never be hotter or younger than you are in this instant. And especially for women, I know this is a difficult pill to swallow, but I want you to see it as a way to actually enjoy the moments that are in front of you. We waste so much mental effort and time scrolling social media, comparing ourselves to other people instead of actually living our life. I want you to squeeze every positive thing you can out of this life and enjoy the process. I don't want you to be constantly stressed out and escaping your life through books, TV, your phone. Win your life back, because there isn't a lot of it. I have been disgusted at my screen time numbers, and the only reason I've been able to stay consistent on YouTube is that I don't really watch TV. And if I want to win my life back, I'd delete the Instagram app. And if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be don't allow anyone or anything to waste your time. It is your most valuable asset and you will never get it back. The next harsh truth I have is that loneliness kills. In America, we live in a very individualistic society, and we are creatures of community. We are meant to be surrounded by friends, community, and family. And if you're living on your own little island, you might feel competent in being able to take care of yourself and being self-sufficient, but loneliness is horrible for your mental health. And it's one of the reasons that after one spouse dies, statistically, the second spouse follows shortly after. I wish I could tell my younger self to make community a big priority in her life, because it will make you feel more connected, loved, and supported, and enjoy your life a lot better. I feel so lucky now that I can walk around my neighborhood and I know all my neighbors. I would feel desperately lonely if I walked down the street and I didn't recognize anyone. And I would feel desperately lonely if I was in a house in the middle of the woods away from any fun opportunities to connect with other people. Alright, the next harsh life truth I have for you guys is that your time with your friends and family is limited. Over the course of our lives, we slowly spend more time alone and we spend more time with our romantic partners. So if you're allowing your connections with friends and family to dwindle, you're setting yourself up for more pain and loneliness. Your relationship with your parents will not last forever. Please take the opportunity to spend more time with them. I'm so blessed that my parents are not just parents in my life, but they feel like genuine friends. And I love going home and I love spending time with them. And I'm so grateful that my brother's close by so I can spend more time with him. I think it would be fun to go on an adventure and live somewhere else, but just being so separate from my family would be very hard for me. Knowing that we're dying day by day and so are your parents really keeps it front of mind for me that I need to take every opportunity I can to spend more time with them. Have a great day, everyone, and good luck.